Police found a burned body in a sugarcane field in Brazil. It took days to identify who it was. What they discovered next shocked an entire country. Because this wasn't just a murder. It was a parent turning on their own child.
Itaberli, Lozano, nació en la localidad de Cravinhos.
And the reason behind it was even harder to understand. It was late December 2016 in Cravinhos, a small town in the state of São Paulo, Brazil. The weather was warm, schools were winding down for the holidays, and 17-year-old Itaberli Lozano had recently moved in with his grandmother. Itaberli Lozano appeared full of life, smiling in photos, leaning into friends, looking completely at ease. Those who knew him described him as polite and outgoing. Someone who got along with everyone. And that's what makes what happened next so disturbing. Itaberli had recently come out as gay. His mother, Tatiana Ferreira Lozano, didn't accept it. Their relationship was tense. They argued often, and there were signs of emotional and even physical abuse at home. For his own safety, he left and began staying with his grandmother, someone who loved and protected him. At his grandmother's house, Itaberli felt safer. He was surrounded by family who accepted him. He was hopeful that things might eventually improve with his mother. Then, on December 29, 2016, Tatiana called him. She asked him to come home and said she wanted to talk things out. Itaberli hesitated, but he still hoped for peace. Neighbors later recalled seeing him walk through his mother's gate around 8 p.m., smiling, hopeful. He didn't return to his grandmother's house that night. At first, she believed he might still be with his mother. One day passed, then another. There was no contact from him during that time, and Tatiana did not give clear answers about where he was. Finally, on January 7th, his grandmother went to the police and reported him missing. That same morning, in a sugarcane field just outside town, workers noticed a strange smell, like something had been burned recently. When they looked closer, they found a body, badly burned, wrapped in bed sheets. Police were called, and they arrived at the cane field within minutes. The body was badly burned. Clothes were gone, and the fire had destroyed most of the visible features. There was no ID, but something caught an officer's eye, a small silver bracelet still around the wrist. It looked like something personal, something that couldn't be easily burned away. The body was taken to the coroner. There, a forensic team examined the bones, teeth, and whatever remained. Dental records and the bracelet confirmed what the family feared. The body was identified as that of 17-year-old Itaberli Lozano. The investigation was now a murder case. Police began questioning everyone close to Itaberli. His grandmother told them about the call from Tatiana. That raised suspicion. Tatiana had never even reported her son missing. When asked where he had gone, she gave vague answers. At first, she claimed she hadn't seen him in days. But police knew she had called him. They also checked phone records. Itaberli's last call was to his mother. Then, police received a tip from someone unexpected. A 16-year-old boy came forward. He had been in Tatiana's house the night Itaberli died. What he told them shocked everyone. According to the boy, Tatiana had contacted him and another young man several days earlier. She asked them to come to her house and said she needed help to teach her son a lesson. On the night of December 29th, when Itaberli arrived at the house expecting a conversation, the two boys were already there. They attacked Itaberli on Tatiana's orders and beat him in the living room. They stopped when they were unwilling to continue. The confession gave police a strong lead, but it did not explain everything, and physical evidence was still needed. They searched Tatiana's home. There they found blood in the living room, traces under the rug, and between the floor tiles. DNA analysis later confirmed the blood belonged to Itaberli. In her husband's car, they found fibers from the sheets and signs of accelerant used to start the fire. A knife was found hidden in the backyard. Forensics confirmed it was the murder weapon. It had both Itaberli's and Tatiana's DNA on it. Together, these pieces of evidence, medical, physical, digital, and testimonial, provided conclusive proof that Tatiana was the killer. Based on this evidence, investigators determined that on December 29th, when boys stopped, Tatiana took over. She went to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and stabbed her own son in the neck. After realizing he was dead, Tatiana called her husband. Together, they wrapped Itaberli's body in bed sheets, drove to a remote part of the sugarcane field, and set the body on fire to hide the crime. They remained silent while others were searching for Itaberli. Tatiana and her husband were arrested. The two teenagers, Victor Roberto da Silva and Miller da Silva Barisa, were also taken into custody. After all the investigation and legal procedures, the trial finally took place in 2019, almost 3 years after the crime. Prosecutors argued that this was not just a murder, it was a hate crime, fueled by Tatiana's refusal to accept her son's identity. Witnesses, including family members, spoke about how Tatiana had treated Itaberli in the past. They talked about verbal abuse, punishments, and religious pressure to change him. Tatiana's defense said she had only meant to scare him and lost control. But the evidence was overwhelming. On November 27, 2019, the court found Tatiana guilty of qualified homicide and concealment of a corpse. She was sentenced to 25 years and 8 months in prison. The two teenage boys were each sentenced to 21 years and 8 months. Tatiana's husband was also charged for helping cover up the crime. As of 2025, they're still in prison under their respective sentences. Itaberli loved his mother. His posts show how happy he was with her, how blessed he felt to be her son. And that's what makes what she did to him even more brutal. The case made headlines across Brazil. It sparked outrage from LGBTQ communities and human rights groups. People demanded stronger laws to protect LGBTQ youth from abuse, especially from their own families. Vigils were held in several cities. A scholarship was later created in Itaberli's name to support LGBTQ students who have been rejected or harmed by their families. This case stayed with me long after I read about it. It's heartbreaking not just because of how Itaberli died, but because of who took his life. He was a teenager, full of hope, simply wanting to be accepted for who he was. What happened to him wasn't just a crime. It was a complete betrayal of love, safety, and trust. And sadly, it's a reality many LGBTQ youth still face today. If you found this story meaningful and want to hear more true crime cases like this, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a story. Thanks for watching.